Look this way.
Is that good?
Do we say who we are or no?
You'll edit it to make me sound okay. Okay,
Yes.
all right, bless your heart. So I don't know what I'm saying right now though.
When I went to ask Dad to marry Stacia, I called him, hey, I got to ask you a question. He's like, yeah, what do you need? He knew exactly what I needed. Knew the whole time he knew exactly what I was going to ask him, but he said, yeah, you need coaching advice? What do you need?
Jim Meerman got a lot of credit for doing things, and the reason he got it was he would turn to me and say, Joe, what should I do? What plays should I run? And I would tell him, and he would do the opposite.
So we have 1,000 people in the gym. It's homecoming. It's a huge deal. So they had a contest, and it was between the coaches' wives and the husbands or whatever. So they had us line up in chairs back to back, and the coaches had slate boards. It's like in the newlywed game, exactly. And I was married to my husband for like 25 years, and they had to answer the question, what color are your wife's eyes? He knows my eyes, clearly blue, right? No, he went right brown. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Brown, he was totally embarrassed, and I never let him forget it, but I put my ringtone on my phone to my brown-eyed girl just when he called me, and he got so mad. When are you ever going to change that? I'm like, clearly you don't know the color of my eyes, so we'll just make it the brown-eyed girl.
I remember playing Hamilton at Hamilton. Before he sent me into the huddle, he said, Joel, don't throw it to this receiver because he's not going to be open. I threw it to that receiver. It was intercepted. And I looked over on the sidelines, and he was just looking at me. It was calm, but I knew what was coming my way, so I walked completely around the field to the other side of the sidelines. And he never yelled at me. He knew, and we both knew.
We used to do a light practice on Thursdays, and we started doing no hip pad Thursdays. Coach went up and tapped our quarterback, and he's like, where's your pads? And he's like, I don't have them on. And he's like, what? And then he checked everybody into like 90% of the team didn't have their hip pads on, even though we were doing hits and tackling. And he just went crazy, and we had to do a lot of running then, so.
Jim was such a family man, and that was just evident every time we were with him, and it just really took us in like family. The family to this day, the Meermans are our family.
My brother was the serious one in the family.
My father-in-law stood for his integrity and his work ethic.
It is a special man.
He was just such an amazing dad and an amazing coach and grandpa.
I just gotta say, Jim was my brother-in-law, but he was like a brother to me, and I miss him so much.
That's one of the things I'll always remember, and always appreciated his humor and a way to lighten the air in the room.
My dad, he was my stone, he was my rock, he was my person that I could count on.
He's just a really kind person. He was just always there for everyone, took very good care of Diane and his family. His children are an example of all of that, and I still miss him every day.
His phrase to me that I'll always remember and pass on to our kids is, this too shall pass.
I said every morning we wake up and we're in this bad dream, and he looks at me with the biggest smile and he says, or a good dream.
I hear him calming me, saying, in a month from now, is this really gonna matter?
We always coin the phrase, so I wear this every day. This was one of our golf outing things one year, but it says, do what's right, avoid what's wrong.
I always told the kids, do what's right, avoid what's wrong.
A saying that Jim used to say that he taught me, which is, do what's right, avoid what's wrong. And I wrote in my son's letter.
Just being an involved grandpa was awesome to see. He was a family man. He would include them in everything. So whether that was holding them on the football field after games, or fishing with them, or just being there for them.
when I was really little, I always used to like go over to his house and like we would always have these like red popsicles and they had like 2 sticks, so we'd always like split it in half and then like he would eat half and like I would eat the other half.
So when I was younger, he used to have this Cinderella book. It was like the animated Cinderella, and every time I would come to his house, I would just beg him to read me that book, and he would sit in the rocking chair or whatever, and he would just read me the book every single time, and I still have that book.
Okay, so I remember we both he had a Michigan blanket and I had an Ohio State blanket, and I was brainwashed to like Ohio State as a kid. So I remember I used to always like have my Ohio State blanket. He used to have his Michigan blanket, and we used to like argue about who was better. He was a big Michigan fan, and that was some good memories.
He scared me.
He scared
I was scared of him. Just my mom had always told me like all these stories when she was younger. She got in trouble by him, and so that was always my fear, was I was gonna get in trouble. This one time when me and Lauren had just gotten done with like a basketball camp or something at the Coopersville Middle School, and he was in charge of picking us up that day, and so he brought us to his office there, and he let us go through the bin of like confiscated things, and so we found like taser pens and like the gum sticks. Yeah, and we would just shock each other. We just shocked each other with them.
Were you scared of him after that, or you're like, oh,
not so much.
I was at Sparta. We were playing Coopersville. It was early in the season. There was a thunderstorm, so we had delays. I found myself in a hallway. 2 figures were walking towards me and I was walking towards them. It ended up being Coach Meerman and his son Josh. The intensity in that hallway amongst competitors, you could feel it. For me to experience his intensity, it's not often as a competitor I felt like that my competitive will was met, and in that hallway, even though no words were shared, we just kind of looked and walked past each other. It was real for me in that moment.
Yeah, so we're out here today to support the Jim Meerman Memorial. Love the community up in Coopersville and what Jim has brought to the community and everything he's stood for. So just really happy to be here. This event is awesome every year. So
the scholarship means a lot to us. We support students that are going to Grand Valley from Coopersville, and so students that are in financial needs can apply for a scholarship, and then we support them. So Coopersville is close to our heart. That's where all of us Meermans went to school, and that's where my dad worked.
You know, the Meerman Scholarship does so many great things for not only the kids of Coopersville, but the Grand Valley students.
We also give to students that are going to college to Grand Valley, that are finishing their degree, walk-on athletes. They're not necessarily students that are getting scholarships like a lot of athletes are. They're working hard, a lot of times have jobs and things like that. And so we're giving them money to be able to finish that while they're achieving their dreams of playing a college sport. So all the money raised from this goes towards those kind of things.
So the creed is a long quote that my dad used to read to all of his teams for 29 years before every game. It goes like this: I am a champion, I practice like a champion, I train like a champion, I live like a champion, and now I vow to play like a champion. As a champion, I have pride. I will not tolerate doing less than my best. The only reason I'll accept defeat is if my best isn't as good as whatever opponent. I vow to do everything tonight in a way so that win or lose, my parents will be proud of me, my coaches will be proud of me, my team will be proud of me, but most of all, I'll be proud of myself. Never quit regardless of the score, because champions never quit. I promise to be aggressive and execute and hustle, and let's go, 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 and we break it down, and we're still saying it today.